this is the first video on the tip series I'm going to start over this holiday and possibly continue if people still like them. So for this video, I'm going to start off by explaining basics of the meta and what certain champions and certain roles do. So one good way to work out how the lanes work is bot lane. You have AD carry and a support. Mid lane is just one person. They could be a mage or an assassin or really anything, but usually a mage or assassin. Top lane, either a fighter or a tank, sometimes an assassin and some mages, and then a jungler where there's fighters and tanks usually. So a bot lane, you can go into your profile here. You can go into champions and go on to availability all, and then you can go into marksmen. Now these are every single AD carry. So if you're looking at learning AD carry, which are the ranged champions that play in bot lane, then you want to go marksman and have a look at these and try and play these. And the reason why you want to start now instead of learning all these roles and where they actually go later on is so you don't end up falling behind. Support is the champion that is with the AD carry. The AD carry gets the CS and the support just looks after them and keeps them going as they're a bit stronger early. There are a couple of tanks that are supports as well, which are Leona and Blitz, and then you can sometimes play like Malphite, but usually not. Mid lane you have a mage. Usually it's these champions, apart from Fiddle, he's usually a jungler. But the rest of these are played mid lane. Vladimir can be played top lane as well. So a mage is just, Morgana is also a support and so is Lux, but they don't have to be a support. So a mage is basically someone who builds ability power items, and you know if they need ability power or attack damage based on this. So you can click on a champion and then here it'll say ability power there. So you'll know to build ability power items, which in the shop you can click ability power and you can find all these items in game. So then top lane usually have fighters and tanks. A lot of these are AD, but not all of them. Uday's a jungler though. He's not really top laner. So a good example is Renekton. He's fairly tanky and he's AD. So you want to build attack damage items. So on Renekton you could build, as an example, you could start with a longsword or a Doran's blade or a Doran's shield. So then you have the jungler, which is basically there's 3 camps that aren't buffs. No, there's 4 now actually. There's wolves, wraiths, golems, and a white camp, and then you have 2 buffs which are red and blue. And the jungler doesn't go to a lane. They just kill the camps in the jungle and then walk onto a lane and try and help to kill their enemy laner. And if you're unsuccessful in that, go back to the jungle, try again on another lane a bit later on. And a jungler has to use a summoner spell called Smite. And it only deals damage to monsters and stuff like that that are in the jungle. But it deals instant damage and it's true damage. So this pretty much secures you a buff or a dragon. Because when everyone's at the dragon, it's like a last hit 100 damage. Or you can have a jungler with Smite that's 1000 damage straight away onto the buff. So you use that to execute it. You can have supports are usually buying wards, don't really go for damage, and build armor, resistance, and buffs to help the team. So an AD carry, so back to marksman. The point of an AD carry is to get gold, get CS, build items, and get to late game where they can fight as a team. So these people just focus on mainly minions and last hitting, and then the support will help you out with that. You want to not attack the enemy too much. You want to get minions mainly and sometimes hit your enemy laner. Support, you just look after your AD carry by either using a grab or something to engage, or by hitting minions to help them with a certain item called Relic Shield that gives you and your AD carry gold. Since the support isn't hitting the minions, they won't get gold. So that's one way they can earn gold. And a support, such as Thresh, who's really good, can grab another champion and pull them. So then your AD carry could help follow up. So there's a point of the supports to heal, look after your AD carry, let them farm. And then you can have your top laners, which are usually fairly tanky. And tanky means where they can basically soak up a lot of damage. Another example could be Wukong. He can be built as a damage dealer as well, but quite a lot of people take him tanky so they can jump into the whole team and knock them all up with his ultimate, which is that. So top lane, it's mainly just get some minions and try and beat the enemy top laner and stop them from roaming, because a lot of top laners take teleport and might teleport to a team fight. So you want to shut them down, take minions, take the tower, and then you can roam for yourself. Because if you don't take their tower, they can just take yours while you roam. So you want to take their tower fairly early, get minions, hopefully kill them a couple times, and then roam. And then you have mid lane, so back to the mages. These build AP, they focus farm, but they're in the middle of the map. So they need to be careful of the jungler, because there's two entrances that they can be attacked by. So usually a mid laner wants to buy wards. So if you have gold, 75, then you can just buy a ward and put it down, and it basically grants you vision in that area if you can't see in that area. So put these in the bushes on the side of the lane. Then you can have your jungler. And the point of a jungler is to just roam, help the team out, take objectives like buffs, dragon, baron, and that's about it really. If you have any questions, leave them in the description. I'm going to do another video on builds and things like that, certain champions and what to do, and what to do with leveling up abilities, things like that, and then some tips on how to lane. Comment any ideas for any more tip videos. This is just the first one, so thanks for watching. Goodbye.